Well, hello YouTube, Eugene here, and welcome friends, and yes, I am back with another Eugene's Ramble Time, and so this will be called Eugene's Ramble Time number 15, all on the Mirai Sentai Timeranger DVD from Shout Factory, and it is definitely an honor to be back and doing another Ramble Time on one of these nifty little DVDs, and I'm very excited on doing the Ramble Time on this DVD in front of us. And so anyway, well, I pre-ordered this DVD back in April of 2018, way before the actual release date. This DVD was announced of its release early April, 3 weeks before the Go-Go 5 DVD hit the shelves, or if you pre-ordered to get it 2 weeks early. So making this the 9th Sentai series to be released in North American Region 1 DVD. But again, friends, when you do pre-order it with Shout Factory, you get it early than the actual release date. Kind of how I did it. I pre-ordered it and got it 2 weeks early. So pretty much it took me 5 days to marathon and complete this series, and pretty much had a blast with this series. Timeranger is my fourth favorite Sentai that follows Geki Ranger, Gokaiger, and Kyurugers. Also, I saw this series both raw and mostly sub by many different fan subbing groups. So here's some information on Timeranger, friends. And Timeranger is the 24th Sentai of the series that aired in 2000 2001 with 51 fantastic episodes, and mainly 50 case file episodes, and Timeranger Special as 51. And one movie, Timeranger vs. Go-Go 5, the crossover of Timeranger and Go-Go 5, mainly the 24th Sentai versus the 23rd Sentai. So just like the last 8 Sentai DVDs of Shout Factory, this does not have the Versus movie, just the 51 episodes of the series. But of course, friends, I know I harp about this, but it would have been nice to have the Versus movie along with the 51 episodes. But it is what it is. Of course, we might have to talk to Shout Factory about this, even though we've already had 8 in the past already been released, including this one. Now, before I do get into the heart of this DVD and everything else in this Ramble Time, I do want to say this: if you're familiar on how I do these Eugene's Ramble Times, I pretty much give you my input on the series, showing off the nice box art and everything on the DVD case, the disc, and how many episodes on the disc, and so on. Mainly giving you footage of the nice menus that come off of these DVDs. Also some screenshots that I've taken off of my TV, and pretty much me reading the plot to you. But of course, in this Ramble Time will be a little bit different. I'm only going to be reading to you one plot, and it's pretty much a plot of pretty much what happened in that whole series. So anyway, and then I'm going to be talking more about everything, the theme of the series, the villains, the mechas, the Timeranger themselves, and the allies of the Timeranger, and so on, and pretty much just my input on the entire series. So if you are familiar on how I do this, awesome. And so anyway, well now friends, let's go ahead and get into the heart of this DVD. So getting to the heart of this DVD, I'm going to start off by taking a look at the front cover here. And I will say this now, friends, if you are a die-hard, dedicated Timeranger fan, then this is a Ramble Time for you. And so anyway, taking a look here, it says before Power Rangers there was Super Sentai. You all know how I feel about that, and I'm not going to get into it. Right here got the Mirai Sentai Timeranger logo right here. And we've got a nice shot here of the 6 Timerangers, including Time Fire, with this nice sky blue background. Got some nice screen captures right here. And right here it says in English, Mirai Sentai Timeranger, the complete series. On the side, right here it says 8 DVD set. The Mirai Sentai Timeranger logo in Japanese, Super Sentai series. And it says right here in English, Mirai Sentai Timeranger, the complete series. Shout Factory's trademark and DVD video. On the back of the case here, it says, before Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there was Super Sentai. And of course, it says, see where the worldwide phenomenon began with the original Japanese series that inspired the Power Ranger franchise. And of course, I'm going to get a little closer here, but here is the plot here on the DVD case of Timeranger. So, if I were you, I'd pause it for a second to read it, because I will not be reading it whenever I do the reading of the plots later on in this Ramble Time. So please feel free now. Because just a save on timing here. And then I got a nice shot here of the 5 Time Rangers with their weapons. And right here it says include all 51 episodes. And then right here it says DVD producer Brian Ward and package design Andrew Robertson. So pretty much the same people that did the last 8 Sentai DVDs. Got some more screen captures here on the bottom here. And right here it's got Shout Factory's logo, Saban brand, DVD video, Dolby audio, NTSC, not rated, and in color. And then right here it does say the audio is Japanese Dolby Digital Stereo. The subtitles are in English. And of course the total running time is approximately 20 hours, which makes it an almost all-day marathon. And of course, Shout Factory website, shoutfactory.com. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the DVD case just to show you how our DVD discs are nice and secure inside. And this is pretty much how they are stored in, and like I said, nice and organized here. But anyway, here is the disc here, and pretty much this is how all 8 DVD discs will look like. Yes, friends, I said 8 DVD discs here. And so, in a way, I do have always admired how Shout Factory has put these DVD discs in this type of DVD case. I do like it. Even though sometimes the plastic is kind of soft and they tend to crack and so on. But it is what it is. But anyway, this is how all 8 DVD discs look like. That nice front cover of the 6 Time Rangers, including Tom Fire. That nice blue, sky blue background and so on. Right here, Sentai, Super Sentai, Mirai Sentai Timeranger, the complete series. And of course, the running time of each disc. And so, anyway, well, now I'm going to go ahead and tell you the number of episodes on each disc. And so, disc 1 has episodes 1 through 7. Disc 2 has episodes 8 through 14. Disc 3 has episodes 15 to 21. Disc 4 has episodes 22 to 27. Disc 5 has episodes 28 through 33. Disc 6 has episodes 34 through 39. Disc 7 has episodes 40 through 45. And Disc 8 has episodes 46 through 51, which is the Time Ranger special. Of course, episode 50 is the final episode. But anyway, and so that's pretty much how it is. But of course, friends, I'm gonna mention to you this now, and of course it's pretty much the episode pattern that I just mentioned to you is pretty much just like Mega Ranger's episode pattern. So you know, now we're doing it here with Time Ranger. And of course the first 3 discs has 7 episodes per disc. And of course the last 5 discs has 6 episodes on it. So that's pretty much how it is when it comes to this, and especially with this series of Time Ranger. Now the running time on each episode, friends, is pretty much 24 minutes, almost 25 rather. And I'm pretty much referring to the 50 case file episodes. And so and from what I gather, the Time Ranger special, which is episode 51, has a running time of 20 to 21 minutes. And so think about it. You know, here we have, you know, 3 discs that have 7 episodes per disc, and here we have 5 that have 6 per disc. And so pretty much all that would be over 2 hours, or exactly 2 hours. So yes, 20 hours of the entire series here. So 20 hours. So I mean if you have time to watch the whole entire series without doing anything and stopping and so on, you could be done with this series in one day. Now in my case, I had no choice but to do like 5 days because I was busy with life and so on. But so that was the reason why this is why this series took me 5 days to marathon and complete it. So that's how that works. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the DVD case and take out the sleeve just to give you a better glimpse of pretty much the inside. And so here's the inside. And the inside looks really, really good. As you can see, it's got the number of the disc and the name of the episode. And as you can see, get a little close up here, it does say Case File 1, which is the Time Fugitives. And then we'll go down the line here, and there's all your episodes here. And like I said, 7 episodes on this 1, 2, and 3, and then 6 episodes on this 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then here is Case File 50 to an Infinity Tomorrow. And then episode 51, Super Sentai Completion. And you can see in the background here, it's got that nice blue background, but you can see it's got a little image of the provider base. Provider's base. And then here's Hami, Naoto, Captain Yu, and a nice shot of the 5 Time Rangers and Tak in their civilian forms. A nice shot of the 5 Time Rangers in their Ranger forms. There is the Lundis family. And again, another nice shot of the 5 Time Rangers in their civilian form when they were performing that movie in episode 38, I believe. And then here is the back, of course, or pretty much the front cover and the back cover of the DVD case here. So. Now the next thing I want to talk about, friends, is the subtitles. The subtitles are very, very decent. Of course, there may be some hit and miss with the translation, but it is what it is. Now the fonts in the subtitles are pretty much the same as how we first saw them in Cucker Ranger. So we went from Cucker Ranger to O Ranger, Car Ranger, Mega Ranger, Giga Man, and Go-Go 5, and now this one here. And of course, some of you probably asking me this, is there a Gal Ranger promo at the very last episode of Time Ranger? Well, friends, I'm going to let my screenshots in this Ramble Time give you the proof. And so I'm not going to tell you. You just have to find out later on when I'm doing the screenshots. So now, friends, let's go ahead and check out the menus in this DVD. So here we go. Alright, friends, here we go with the menus of Time Ranger. So now we're going to go ahead and check out subtitle options. And so as you can pretty much see, friends, the menu style is pretty much the same kind of style as the last 8 DVDs, but pretty much got the Time Ranger motif. So of course, you know, you have your choice to have the subtitles either on or off. So let's turn them on. And then we're going to go back. And so we'll check out episode lists. And of course, episode lists, this is pretty much showing us the number of episodes that this disc has. And pretty much you can see it's got case file 46 through 50 and then 51, which is the Super Sentai completion. So you do have the option if you want to just watch a certain episode. Like for instance, you just want to go ahead and watch case file 51. You click on case file episode, case file 50, and it'll play through the whole entire episode. Once that episode is done, it'll go back to this menu here. And now if you want to play all, it's going to play all of these episodes here on this list here. So that's pretty much it for this with the menus and everything. I'm going to take you back and we'll go ahead and listen to a few moments of that nice Time Ranger theme song. So enjoy. And now we're going to go ahead and check out the plots and my nice screenshots from this DVD here. So here we go. Alright, friends, here we go with the screenshots, and figure I'll let you know now. In the past few Ramble Times I've done on the Shout Factory DVDs, I would usually give you 35 screenshots. Well, in this Ramble Time, I'm doing things a little bit different here, and I went above that number. So pretty much I have 40 screenshots here, and pretty much the whole reason for these screenshots, friends, is mainly to give you a gist on what I see through my eyes, mainly with the subtitles on the screen and the nice picture quality these DVDs provide for us. And while the screenshots are going on, I will be reading to you the Time Ranger plot. And I only have one plot, and this plot came from a very, very reliable source. It's good to give you information on Sentai changers and just, mainly information on a certain Sentai. But this site is called powerrangers.wicca.com, and I will have that in my text as we speak. Speaking of my text, make sure you keep an eye out for my text. They will pop up in case I do make an error or pretty much just something I'm filling in, or probably a name of a certain person in the screenshot. So just keep an eye out for that. So, well, anyway, friends, let's go ahead and get to it with the screenshots and this one plot I need to read to you. So anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And here we go. It says, in the 30th century, time travel becomes illegal after a time paradox crisis. The Time Protection Department is established to watch for and stop time crimes. Four new enlisted cadets of the TPD are tricked by Don Dornera and his gang into letting them time travel to the 20th century to commit various crimes. To protect history, the four cadets persuade them, There they encounter a severe problem. The Time Ranger program requires 5 members for the first operation. They thus force a present-day martial arts Asami Tatsuya to join them, allowing them to become Time Rangers. Afterward, Tatsuya rents a building for them to live in, and they start a small odd job business called Tomorrow Research to financially support themselves. Over time, the cadets begin to realize that their presence would inevitably change the future in the form of the City Guardians, a security force under the employment of the Asami Corporation to protect the city from the Landeras. The City Guardians gain a tarnished relationship with the Time Rangers, especially when Tatsuya's old friend rival, Tazawa Naoto, became Time Fire and later the City Guardians captain. In the series finale, the Time Rangers go back to their regular lives. A year later, Tatsuya is jogging when he sees 5 people who resembles the other Time Rangers, including Naoto, but realize it isn't them. So that is the plot, friends, and the one and only plot I'm going to be reading to you in this ramble time. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk a little more about Time Rangers. I'm going to start off by talking about the theme of Time Ranger. Oh my God, friends. I love the original soundtrack of this series. I really do. Talking about the opening theme and the ending theme here. Pretty much, really, this soundtrack was amazing, even though Time Ranger had that dark and edgy feel. But anyway, the opening theme is called Juku Mirai Sentai Timeranger. We heard this theme song in episode 1 through 44 and 46 through 51. Of course, we had a different verse of this song in 51, pretty much in Japanese only. I got to say, I really love this theme song here, especially the part where it goes, "Go over time and space," and this song here pretty much goes to English and Japanese. Um, of course, after we hear "Go over time and space," we hear this: "Beyond the future, beyond the future, live on my dream, live on my soul," and then it automatically goes to Japanese. And of course, at the end of the theme song, you'll hear "Wake up." So I really like that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, friends, I was not a fan of this theme song, but it grew on me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, today I hear that song a lot in my head. But anyway, and I want to go ahead and talk about the English version of the opening theme song. Of course, we only heard this in episode 45 and Time Ranger versus Go-Go 5, which at the end of the movie. But it's called Beyond All Space and Time. I like the English version. The English version sounded really, really good, and we could understand it. But anyway, and of course, the reason why we had the English version of the ending theme in the opening theme in episode 45, it was the last episode of the year before the year changes, and this was a special episode with memories, mainly the Time Rangers reflecting back their year together and what happened to them, and them becoming Time Rangers, fighting the Landeras and everything, pretty much, people from two different centuries is what I'm talking about. And how their friendship has grown during the year, almost a year. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead now and talk about the ending theme of Time Ranger, and the ending theme is called "Into Time," and we heard this theme on episodes 1 through 43 and episodes 46 through 49. And pretty much it has a Japanese version only, so no English. But the one cool thing I like about how this sounds, it pretty much goes time, 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 and it echoes. And again, like I said, Time Ranger has that dark and edgy feel to it, But but yeah, we didn't hear this ending theme on episode 44, 45, the final episode, and 51. We heard different other ending themes here. And so this next ending theme here, I really, really like. It's called Miracle Christmas. This is episode 44's ending theme. And I got to say, this song here really got you into that holiday spirit, I like how it begins. It goes, whoa, it's a miracle. Whoa, whoa, miracle Christmas. And so something like that. I could be wrong about, how they said it in Japanese, but I could be close. But love that song. I mean, like I said, it got you into that holiday spirit. Now, the next ending theme here is Eternal Wind. This is episode 45's ending theme, and I tell you, I really like that song as well. I mean, I cannot complain. You're probably going to be hearing me talk about every song that I like of the soundtrack, but Eternal Wind, it gave us that feel that we were switching from the year 2000 to the 2001, like the Eternal Wind, how it's blowing us to that next year, and it brought a lot of meaning here, and you could tell it was the end of the year pretty much. But anyway, well, the next ending theme here, this one here, again, I love this one as well. It's called Miracle no Yuki. This is the final episode's ending theme. And not only did we hear this theme in the final episode of Time Ranger, we heard this in episode 19 or 20, if I remember correctly, when Domo was going through his little depressed stage and, uh, can we keep on fighting? Can we win against the Landeras? Can we go back to the future? That's what he was thinking of. And of course, this last theme here is called Don't Stop Your Story. This is the Time Ranger special ending theme for pretty much episode 51. And this is the very last song we heard in the series before the show ended. And I love how it goes, don't stop your story. And pretty much just like the opening Time Ranger theme song, it goes from English to Japanese. And of course, another part of the English part I heard was don't stop your dream or something it said, or don't stop believing. One of the two. But anyway, so that's pretty much it on the themes of Time Ranger. Again, I love them, and I will not stop harping about that. They all sound really, really good. And yeah, again, this series did have that dark and edgy feel and the twists and the turns, but so what? I got to say, I really enjoyed it, Now, getting back to Miracle no Yuki, um, some of you probably think that song was rather on the depressing side, but in a way, I do agree. But in a way, I feel it's relaxing and it's soothing and so on. So it was a nice song and everything, and that's pretty much the final episode's ending theme I'm talking about. So anyways, that's the reason why I like Time Ranger so much. I mean, I cannot complain about the theme of Time Ranger. So that's it on the theme of Time Ranger. So now we'll go ahead and talk about the Time Rangers, and mainly the 6 Time Rangers, rather. I'm going to go ahead and start off by talking about Asami Tatsuya, Time Red. And of course, Tatsuya is from the 20th century, and of course, he tries to fight his fate as an Asami heir. And pretty much the 4 cadets really needed him to pretty much fix this problem, this severe problem. The Time Ranger program requires 5 members for the first operation. So they only needed him like for the first try to unlock the Chrono Changer to become Time Ranger. But in the end, they went ahead and they decided to let him be with the team, being the 5th member, and pretty much, I guess in a way, what really drew them to having Tatsuya fight with him is the quote he kept saying that, you know, um, we could change our tomorrow, but we can't change the future. And that stayed in the four cadets' mind. And so that was the reason why they decided to keep him as the fifth member and, fighting on as a Time Ranger until the series ends. And, of course, during the series, we do see that Tatsuya did drew an attachment to Yuri. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk about Yuri. And she is Time Pink. And Yuri pretty much is this as a bitchy character, and she's very cold, but there's a reason for that. Don Dornanera is the reason why, and Don Dornanera murdered her family when Yuri was only 10 years old, and that traumatized her big time and making her very angry and vengeful. And, all during the series, all she cared about was her revenge towards Don Dornanera. She wanted to either mainly arrest him. But anyway, and of course, she drew an attachment to Tatsuya, and before Tatsuya could even say "I love you," she was going back to the year 3000, the 31st century rather. So anyway, next I want to go ahead and talk about Ayasa, Time Blue. Uh, Pretty much Ayasa is a cool guy. I really liked his character. He was so cool. He loved race cars and everything. Of course, he had issues on keeping his driver's license and everything. But pretty much Isa is suffering from the deadly Orsa disease, and it's pretty much where even his time had no cure for it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Domo, Time Yellow. Um, I really did not like Domo much. He was pretty much a dumb muscle brain, pretty much. He pretty much liked to chase after girls, and of course, he got banned on the ring for life, and just because of the way he is and so on. But in a way, I did like his character towards the end, and I guess when it comes to the beginning of the series, they show the immature part, and then at the end they show the serious part. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about Sion. Sion, which is Time Green, and pretty much Sion is an alien. He is the last of the Harbonian uh, uh, life form, I guess you could call it. And he is pretty naive, but his heart was dedicated to things, and of course, he was a type of alien life form that could only slumber once a year. And of course, I think it was in episode 39, or yeah, it was in episode 39 or 38. But anyway, it was time for his slumber, and he did so. But anyway, well, the next Time Ranger I want to talk about is Takizawa Naoto, Time Fire. Of course, usually with the Six Senshis, they would always appear in either episode 19, 21, or 22. Well, he didn't make his debut till episode 28, and of course, in 29, he made his debut as Time Fire. But anyway, Naoto was pretty much a douche, let's put it that way, pretty much towards everyone while seeking to grab power since he grew up in poverty. He's also rival with Tatsuya. And, of course, every now and then Tatsuya would try so hard to, befriend him. And of course, he remains to be cold. And that was the one thing I did not like about him. But as, he grew, he pretty much changed, even though they only had Naruto in like, what, 12 or 13 episodes of Time Ranger since, um, it was cut short, really. And of course, like I said, usually they would have the Six Senshis appear in the earlier, latter part of the series, but they kind of had his character appear like later on in that series. So in a way, friends, the characters of Time Rangers are very, very tolerable and everything. Of course, we got a couple of douches, but so what? I pretty much grew to love them. Naruto, like I said, grew on me, even though his, pretty much his role was kind of cut short in the series. So that's what I think of the characters of Time Rangers, mainly the six Time Rangers themselves. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the allies of Time Ranger, and I'm going to start off by talking about Ranger Captain Yuya. I hope I got his name right, but I'll put his name in the text. But anyway, he is the reason why um, the series had such a surprise twist, and this pretty much involved him. He did some unquestionable things that led to the series events. Um, pretty much contains some confusion about rules on time travel and stuff like that. And he took matters into his own hand, um, even though it was illegal to time travel and history. He tried different parts of history to like two different histories to change something with the G Zord and everything, and end up dying in one part and everything. And pretty much this is the reason why everything was so messed up in the series of Time Ranger. Uh, and he pretty much looks like Tatya. So, in other words, Tatya is definitely Yuya's ancestor from 1,000 years ago. So, anyway, he is definitely the reason why. He pretty much got on my nerves a lot, especially when he appeared in episode 42 and well, actually continuing on 43 and talking about how the five Time Rangers should have been already dead because of the Londaris's criminals that grew. The very first one in episode 2, that's when they were supposed to die and everything. And pretty much this guy here was putting a gamble on people's lives in time, which was kind of pathetic. But uh, in the end, this guy died in episode 50, thanks to Isaac. I'm glad he did something, but he was mainly the original Tom Fire, and he was trying so hard to change things, and like I said, ended up dying and everything. But anyway, so now the next person I want to talk about is Tak, and there's a different name on how you can spell it, but he was pretty much the navigator to the Time Rangers and pretty much giving information on the Lundaris criminals. He was a very useful ally, and I did like him. And um, even though he was a big old owl, and navigating and all that other stuff. Next, I want to talk about Mr. and Miss Asami. This is Tatya's parents, and so I talked about Tatya earlier, and of course, Tatya was pretty much trying to change his fate in the air of the Asami heir. Well, his father, Asami Wataru, was a very, very cold person, and he really only cared about himself. But during the series, he did reveal he tried to be like Tatya and ran away from the company, but ended up coming back. And he almost died in the series, and thank God he made it before Christmas. And Miss Asami, they really didn't have much about Miss Asami. I could tell she was a very kind-hearted person. She really loved Tatya, but it is what it is. And I mean, uh, I'm not saying I don't like Asami Wataru. I mean, he had his little stubbornness and being very cold, but it is what it is. Now, the next person I want to talk about is Hamin. This is Domo's crush, and of course, they started dating by the end of the series. And of course, she had a child, naming him Domo Jr., but she never told the father, which is Domo. She was pretty much a news reporter. She was in for any kind of scoops. And when she started getting involved in the whole Time Ranger fiasco, she pretty much got it confused between Ayasa and Domo being Time Yellow. And she had a picture of Time Yellow and Ayasa. Well, she didn't realize that that was really Domo. And um, I guess she did like a voice match of both Time Yellow and Domo and finally figured it all out. She was kind of a dingy person in the series, and I think Yuri kind of gave her a few pieces of her mind, pretty much giving her a hit in the face and everything, and trying to pretend they don't know her or pretend they're not being spied on by her. But anyway, and of course, this is the person here that loved to take pictures, and she was up for a scoop. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the City Guardians. And of course, Naoto is a part of the City Guardians, which he is a captain. But this is when history started to change with the city guardian. So meaning in the history files in the 30th century, it could be possible that the city guardians never existed the if the Time Rangers didn't survive and history already been written. So since the Time Rangers survived that first Landeris criminal attack, they survived, and so the city guardians exist and pretty much changing history. And so anyway, well, the last ally I want to talk about is Robota. He pretty much appeared in like at the end of the half of the series. I mean, pretty much, I think it was like 25 or 26 he appeared in until the end. Pretty much, he was just a little fun little robot and everything, and his favorite phrase was always time and so on. So anyway, so that's pretty much all the information on the allies of the series. Pretty much tolerable, you know. I mean, yeah, like I said, this series had that edgy and dark feel to it. I know I'm repeating myself, but it is what it is with both the Time Rangers and the allies of the Time Rangers. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the mechas of Time Ranger, and I got to say I do like the designs on the mechas of Time Ranger. They got that futuristically design, and it looks really, really cool. And of course, these mechas definitely do revolve around the Time Ranger's theme, which revolves around time, and I love that. But of course, here we have Time Jet 1, Time Jet 2, Time Jet 3, Time Jet 4, and Time Jet 5. These jets do combine to become Time Robo, and of course, Time Robo has two modes, Time Robo Beta and Time Robo Alpha. Then the Time Jets do have a third mode, which is called Time Jet Gamma. And of course, this is the 5 jets that can combine into a larger jet. And then this mecha showed up later on in the series. Time Shadow was a big help to Time Robo. And of course, the Time Rangers couldn't figure out who sent him, but we all know who did. And so anyway, then Time Shadow can combine with Time Robo to either become Time Shadow Alpha or Time Shadow Beta, the two modes. And of course, he's got the weapon, which is called the Pro Divider. And then V-Rex. V-Rex is Time Fire's mecha. And of course, his Robo mode is called V-Rex Robo. And then we have Providus. Providus made one appearance in a mecha fight in like episode 38 when they were doing the movie. And so anyway, but he was awesome looking anyway when he was sitting out the other mechas through the time hole and everything else. So all in all, friends, the mechas of Time Ranger are really cool. I really like them. I mean, like I said, definitely going really, really well with the theme of Time Rangers. And again, that revolves around time. So now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the villains of the series. This is where it gets really, really fun. And pretty much the actual name of the villains is called the Landeris family. And of course, it starts with Don Dornanera. Of course, you know, he may be a very dangerous criminal considering he was sentenced to 1,000 years in cryogenic compression. But, and of course, he set up the whole incident where, you know, he had Gin and Lila go into the prison with the whole Landeris prison. And of course, you know, all they did here was pretty much decompress various criminals to run various criminal schemes and so on. So that's pretty much how the series went on. But, you know, getting back to Don Dornanera may represent your everyday crime boss who public enemy number one. His real motive is to earn the most money he could since he's addicted to it. Of course, who isn't addicted to money? But anyway, he is the reason why he ordered the assassin to happen to Yuri's parents when she was only 10 years old, and she spent the majority of the series trying to go after Don Dornanera. And of course, you know, a squabble happened between Don Dornanera and Gin, and Don Dornanera died, pretty much changing the future, making, Yuri's parents and sister alive and well. So meaning that event never happened since Don Dornanera died. And so, anyway, I'm going to go ahead now and talk about Gin. Gin himself was once human, but he slowly grew insane, which shows Don Dornanera's human side. And of course, he is the reason why everything is going wrong in the history files and so on, and the reason why the captain was so hell-bent on trying to either protect Gin or making sure he doesn't get destroyed, because that would change history, and that was the reason why Gin kept doing all this. And so, anyway, next I want to talk about Lyra. She also goes by Lila, but it depends. But anyway, of course, she's the feminine Fatal who wears disguises and everything, and, she just likes to go rob banks and have fun and enjoy herself. She wasn't the evil. I guess you could say she was evil, but she had like a part of a good side where she just enjoyed herself like she was a little kid, And last, I want to talk about the Zenitos, pretty much the henchmen to the Landeris family. Of course, at the end of the final episode, you saw they had a whole herd of them. Pretty much the whole army was out trying to destroy the year 2001. And of course, thanks to the Time Rangers, they were destroyed. And so that's pretty much everything on the mechas of the series and the villains of the series. The villains of the series, I got to say, I enjoyed them all, I just find Gin was getting a little too crazy. And, of course, the Zenito, I kind of enjoyed the fact that, in one episode, I remember Domo punched a big-ass hole into one of their chests, and you can see from the backside. That was pretty cool there. But just to let you know, friends, I forgot to say this when I was talking about the Time Rangers individually. Yuri, Iacet, Domo, and Sion are from the 30th century. And so, they had to meet up with Tatsuya to become Time Rangers, and that's how their fate was sealed. Now, of course, again, I would say definitely does have that dark, edgy feel with the twists and the turns. But anyway, it was a well-turned-out series and everything. At the first time I seen the series, I got rather confused. But now I understand. And so, Time Ranger, I guess the year 2000 was pretty much a year for dark twists and turns and edgy and dark sides, because I do think, if I remember correctly, in 2000, Kamen Rider Kuga aired, and it had the same dark, edgy feel. So I think the year 2000 was like that for Sentai and Rider. But anyway, well, friends, that's everything, all on Time Ranger and everything. I got to say I had fun with this and everything, and I hope you have, and I hope you caught that surprise in the screenshots just now. And so, anyway, well, friends, let's go ahead and conclude this Ramble time on the Mirai Sentai Timeranger DVD from Shout Factory. So, here we go, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, here we go. Well, friends, that is it for this Ramble time, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you got a kick out of that little screenshot earlier of Gal Ranger. That was my little secret there. But anyway, here's something you need to know, friends, that Time Ranger is the first Sentai series to feature the official Super Sentai logo at the beginning of each episode, and the feature continues from this day on 19 years later as of this recording. And this series here is pretty much a one hell of a show with great season and nice characters. And I feel that Time Ranger has this dark and edgy feel to it, and pretty much got some really serious twists and turns. And of course, I know some people probably won't welcome that, but it's something I like, the dark and edgy and the twists and turns. I really dig that. And I do dig everything I like about the show. I love the motif, which revolves around time, and I'm a big fanatic when it comes to time travel and everything. Love the suits, the designs, everything about the show, the mechas, the villains, everything about, like I said, the allies. A very tolerable show. Like I said, all the characters are very tolerable. Of course, we got some assholes, but it is what it is. But one thing I do want to talk about now, friends, is the next DVD release. The next DVD release will not be Gal Ranger. According to Shout Factory, Jetman is the next on release, but has been slated, and of course I put mine on pre-order, and the release date is September 25th, 2018. Now, Gal Ranger will follow Jetman and will be released in December 2018. Friends, no date has been confirmed yet. So making that 5 DVD releases in 2018. Wow, what a year with Gingaman, Go-Go 5, Time Ranger, Jetman, and Gal Ranger. So yes, I do highly recommend you watch this series. You will not regret it. If you aren't a Time Ranger fan, then I totally understand and everything. Don't forget, I will keep the comments on for a week, and I will be watching. And so, anyway, well friends, that is it for this Ramble time. And so don't forget to check out my blog, follow me on Twitter, and to like my Facebook. And make sure, friends, you hit that bell icon, let me know if I want to upload a new video. And so, friends, this is Eugene's Ramble Time number 15, all on the Mirai Sentai Timeranger DVD from Shout Factory. I hope you enjoy. Well, my friends, I'm Eugene. I'm signing out, and I hope you have a good day. And my friends, I'll most assuredly see you next time. Bye.